Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the F1 Project Phoenix of 2022 Career Mode. Today we're here for episode 7 for the Crash Grand Prix, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix of Season 2. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last week, remember to check that out, and of course subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more episodes. But coming into this one then, obviously there's a lot of rumours flying about, people could be replaced early. Not at McLaren though. McLaren are actually flying high. Norris has been a little bit unlucky as well. Ricciardo's been the one that's leading the team throughout 2022. Whether or not he can keep that going, because you know Norris has had the more pace, but he's got unlucky. Had to have got caught up in incidents. One person that is under threat though is Sergio Perez. Perez hasn't been the same man since that engine issue he had at Mexico, his home Grand Prix. Lost him that podium that he was so much would have wanted at his home Grand Prix. I don't know if that's also affected him mentally, you know, not having the same drive, because of course he's missed out. Another man who's likely to could be getting the chop is Valtteri Bottas. Bottas has had a poor season at Maserati and Andretti, and with Schumacher pretty much wiping the floor with him. So is Bottas yet to rediscover his form after a season out. We'll see if he can revitalise himself as well. But moving to qualifying then, and it's for the first time in a while, it's Lewis Hamilton on pole, not Max Verstappen. He lines up in P2, a 3/10 gap as well. That's quite a big margin between the two. Lando Norris starts up in third place ahead of Charles Leclerc. Ferrari splitting their strategy, Leclerc choosing the soft tyre as well. Carlos Sainz starts 5th. Myself, I start 6th place, the joint best start of the season for me. Only 2/10 of Sainz as well, always gone well around here. Daniel Ricciardo got caught up in an accident behind Russell. We'll get him in there. He starts 7th ahead of Sebastian Vettel, who starts up in 8th place. Giovinazzi starts up in 9th ahead of George Russell, who was the man that crashed in Q3. As well, which obviously affected Ricciardo as well. Outside the top 10, we got Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, not doing those rumours any good by qualifying only in T12. Fernando Alonso starts 13th alongside Mick Schumacher, who's 14th as well. Great job to only be a fraction off Alonso's time. Albon starts 15th. As well, alongside Esteban Ocon, who starts 16th, 2 penalties in a row for the Frenchman. Yuki Tsunoda failed to get out of Q1. He starts in 17th, ahead of Oscar Piastri in 18th place. Not on the back row for once for the Williams driver. Bottas down in 19th, and Lance Stroll once again starts last for the Aston Martin team. Now it's time for today's race. So here we are then on the grid at Baku, track that's is actually one of my best tracks actually as well for qualifying actually, not so much for race pace, I must admit. But you know, qualifying, I'm usually a good qualifier, and it's the only track that I can actually qualify really consistently well at as well. But of course, we all know how tight it is. Simulation damage in operation, so there might be a pile up or two at some point throughout the race. So we'll have to watch that as well and make sure we don't get caught up in that. We can get some quite decent points, I think. Starting on mediums, race strategies are one stop from soft from medium to hards as well. We're going to might extend that as well on the mediums. We don't want to be in the hards too long, but we'll see what the tyre is like on the mediums. As we get ready then for 5 red lights for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's a good start compared to Sainz, but Sainz then cuts across. We're going to try and go down the inside, but there's contact with Sainz. That's why, because he had Ricciardo, I think that is, on his outside. there's virtual safety cars being deployed because Oscar Piastri is out of the race. Just literally did not break into the back of the AlphaTauri, and Lance Stroll gets caught up in that. So we're reversing as well. So we're weaving all over the place then. Jumping to the end of lap 1, only a virtual safety car, didn't last very long. George Russell is trying to get past us as well. His mediums were able to hold on for straight Russell as well. I think we can take the charge to him firstly in this race as well. We're just driving our race. We're trying to not lose too much time to the time. At the same time, I don't want to let Russell past. I'm going to cut him off here as well, and that's going to mean he takes a poor exit there. As we're watching the front three, surprisingly for once, Norris is keeping up with Verstappen and Hamilton as well, so they're having a very good time. Leclerc though is on a 2-stop. Started on the softs and is now back in the traffic. There's also a lot of people who started on hard tyres, so we'll come back to them in just a moment. As George Russell once again has a go on the outside. There's contact this time, and well, Russell's going to have to come into the pits for a new front wing because of their aggression. As I say, it does tighten on that side as well, though he doesn't come into the pits actually for a new front wing. Russell tries to go around the inside, and we go on the outside this time. I make the move stick. As I say, it's I don't really know what the best line is to defend there, but Russell eventually does come in to fix his front wing and move on to a set of hard tyres himself. So he's doing the 1-stop, so we will see him come back out. But of course, we've got the people that have started on the hards, Alonso, and the man who's just right behind him having a great race is Mick Schumacher. All of them are ahead of the likes of Leclerc, Giovinazzi and Vettel, all the 2-stoppers as well. We've got now Verstappen and Norris are also 2-stopping, but they're a lot further up the road. Norris on softs. Verstappen has chosen another set of mediums. Not sure what he's going to go to the end of the race, whether he'll go to softs or whether he'll go pit early and go to hards. We'll have to wait and see as well. Norris also will probably go to mediums on his 2-stop strategy, but don't understand why. I mean, the Red Bull tyre wear is a little bit high. They've been able to manage it so far this season, and maybe this is the first time we've really seen how poor the Red Bull tyre wear is as we're coming out behind Sebastian Vettel. Of course, those 1-stoppers are causing quite a queue up in front, but we'll get to them in due course as well. We're going to go around the outside of Vettel, given the space on the inside. They understeer the F1 car, helping me there as well. So generally, that's just the general feel of it. As Lewis Hamilton is 1-stopping in this race compared to Verstappen and Norris, who are 2-stopping. So that's not really great for them. Ricciardo is also 1-stopping compared to Sainz is 2-stopping as Leclerc's being binned into the wall, and there's a pile-up and a half. Giovinazzi's out. There's 6 and 5 cars are out of the race with a pile-up as we have to get slightly slowed down by the safety car. But it's happened at Baku as we feared. So, of course, the safety car changes it. Hamilton leads now from Daniel Ricciardo, with everyone making their final stops. Verstappen is indeed on hards. He is in 3rd, ahead of Norris in 4th and Sainz in 5th as well. As watching there, that is Alex Albon, who's up in 6th place as well. Albon's up into the points. Schumacher's not that far away from some points as well. So, and apparently Alonso's also got a fault. So this is going to be an interesting 6 laps left of this race. We're going to overtake Sainz, dive down the inside of Norris at the same time, get 2 in 1 overtake. Thank you very much, up to P4. Caught them napping there. Sainz definitely slow off the mark, slow to react to the slow moving Norris in front of him. Norris slow to react to the others who aren't able to get. We're up to P4. Very good result as well. But of course, now we need to watch out for Norris behind us. He is on the better tyres. We're going to block him. Hate it that the fact that the track narrows at that particular point is always a point where, you know, someone can take you out in a matter of seconds as well. But we managed to hold on to P4 as Russell now is having a huge battle with Alex Albon, the man he replaces as Schumacher, you can see in the background, is also trying to hold on. We'll cut him in just a moment. But Russell isn't quite able, he's just about able to get past, past Williams, as well as we've got Russell now catches up to Sainz, and there was contact definitely there, as you saw, with Sainz and Russell. So Sainz is coming into the pits, and we've now got, this is a battle for P8 between Schumacher, which P8 is the last point, and the Red Bull of Sergio Perez as well. And Perez unable to find a way past as Sainz does indeed confirmation, comes in the very next lap for a new front wing. So that's going to promote Schumacher up to 7th place as well. Haas and Williams haven't scored any points so far this season, and they're both on course to get their points as Russell has a dive bomb in the middle of the sector. I think there's slight contact between myself and our fellow Englishman, and he's unable to get past us for P4. And there, in actual fact, the little light blue dot, that is Albon, and the white dot behind is Schumacher as well. So they've both done fantastically well. My heart's dreadful in the end. Ultimately, they just dropped off the cliff. That's why we were not really anywhere near them in the end, and not really anywhere near the likes of Verstappen, Hamilton and Ricciardo. Ricciardo hold off charging Verstappen in the end to finish 2nd place. So yes, for once it's not Max Verstappen on the top front, but GG's to Schumacher and Albon. Williams and Maserati Andretti both get their first points of the season. It's the first points in Formula 1 at all for the Maserati Andretti team as well. Bottas only 11th, but he did finish ahead of Alonso, who slumped to 12th. Sainz and Gasly had nightmares of a race, 3 stop races, both got caught up in incidents as well. And then of course there was that 5-car pileup involving Tsunoda, Leclerc, Ocon, Vettel and Giovinazzi, and of course Piastri never made it past past turn 1 as well. So in terms of then the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen still has a massive lead over Leclerc, and he extends his lead because Leclerc didn't score. He got taken out today. Hamilton moves into 3rd place and Ricciardo up to 4th. So the battle for the 2nd place is still very much on. I move up to 6th place, so you know we're being consistent where others haven't, like Norris and Perez haven't been able to be consistently up there in the good points paying position and keeping our nose clean, and it's paying off with a load of points. In terms of the constructors, Red Bull have a 27-point lead over Mercedes, who jump ahead of Ferrari, who didn't score today. McLaren also closing up. We're just in no man's land, really. But of course, there's now whether or not there's a huge battle. Aston Martin have dropped to 9th, thanks to Albon finishing in 6th place for Williams. As well, so there's still a huge battle for 6th place in terms of the rest of the grid. Whether or not that will happen, we'll have to wait and see. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more F1 Project Phoenix videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.